Welcome back to the Radical Care for Christian Counselors podcast. My name is Bethany Boring, and I'm so excited that you're here because if you are one of those people who constantly do one-on-one counseling, coaching, teaching, whatever it may be, even parents, we do a lot of one-on-ones, right? And maybe you're looking for creative ways to get over the isolation and overwhelm and learn some group strategies. Well, you're in the right place, and you're right in the middle of an amazing series that we're doing all about my newest book, The Joy Catcher. It is a children's book. I would love for you to pick up a copy at thejoycatcherbook.com, amazon.com, and some of your nearest bookstores. Now, what are we talking about during this series specifically? We're talking about how to do dreams and projects together. How many times have you had a project that you needed done, but you either tried to do it all yourself or you actually have problems doing it with other people? Well, this project was definitely a work in progress, but it connected me with an amazing illustrator named Lowri Williams, and you're going to join in today in some of our conversation. Today, we're going to be talking about finding those people in your life who believe in your dream and how that can become a reality. So, whose dream can you help bring to reality today? I'll see you back in a minute. And I love it because I remember somewhere along the process, we were trying to think of trim size, which if you have no idea what we're talking about the actual size of the book.
I think we changed it about 4 times.
Yes, because we started looking at different sizes, and then with the two companies that we had to go with to do international shipping, there was a lot of just things that Lori and I both did not think about. But then she's like, I remember this because we were looking at 8.5 by 8.5, and we're trying to think of portability and would it be big enough and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I just can't picture it. And you're like, take an 8.5 paper, chop off some of it, and it's 8.5 by 8.5. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Can you remember when I like pulled off all of my books from my bookshelf, just all the children's books? I'm like, this is this size, this is this
Yes.
size. And that's how we determined the size that we wanted. Like being able to like physically see it
Yes.
helped a
Yes.
lot. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm now
Yes.
grateful I have all of the children's books that my grandma has passed down to me.
Which is amazing. I love that. And the thing about Lori too is she's like, when you read it and you're like, oh, I have all these ideas, and I'm like, cool. You know, it's like I am not a visual person. Like you can describe, like I am, and I can describe it in my head. But to actually see you, I mean, you just got excited. And like I could just tell you're like, and I remember the first time we talked, because you're like, you're excited to get going, but then you had something else going on. You're like, oh, I just got to finish this uni, whatever it was. And you're like,
Yeah, it
I can
was like a
tell because you were
massive
just so excited.
project.
You were like
Yeah.
itching to get started. And that really, I just want to speak into that because it's one thing to share your dream with somebody else.
Mhm.
But then when your dream coincides with somebody else's dream, it's just mutually excitement back and forth. And I think that's what we had here because
Yeah.
it wasn't just you coming along to make this book happen for me. It was no, you're coming along because you want to see this book happen for you as well. And you want to see yourself grow as an illustrator, and you want to see yourself impacted in the way for the Charge Syndrome Foundation. So it really was like I kind of saw my dream and your dream, and it kind of meshed into one. And we both like were getting so excited, whether it was a Facebook Messenger conversation or an email conversation, or I like to do audio on Facebook Messenger, which
Yeah.
I don't know if you liked on your end. But anyway, but we were both like so excited. And so can you agree with that part?
Yeah, definitely, I agree. And I think that's a part of the reason why I've loved the process so much is it hasn't ever felt that, oh, I'm working for a client and it's just that. It's the whole time it's felt like it's been this big collaboration and it's for us both rather than just for you or like yeah, it's been really nice.
I like that. So from like, let's talk about that for a minute. So, because I know we have people that are going to be listening to this, whether they're getting the book or not or whatever. We all have dreams, right? We all have dreams. You all have talents that we all want to go out and try to do. And for
Mm.
both of our ends, I had to realize if I was going to chase after my dream, I couldn't do it by myself. I
Yeah.
couldn't. I needed help. And you had to, when you were on your end trying to work through all of this stuff, because I know you were talking to uni professors and family
Yeah.
and just the whole thing, like, am I doing this right? And so, what is something that you would suggest for somebody if they're out there in their shoes, kind of like you are, like, hey, whether an illustrator or a painter, like they're a creator of some sort, and they want to take that next step, but maybe they have an opportunity that they're scared, because I'm sure you were a little scared during all of this.
Yeah,
What
I
would
was
you suggest? What
terrified.
is, yeah. So what is some encouragement you can offer to somebody that may be in a
I
similar
think
situation?
I think my biggest like advice is never to give up. Like it's very easy as an illustrator to see because it's such a competitive field and you see like all these other people that you're close to getting all these jobs and then you beat yourself up about it and you're like, oh, like is that ever going to happen to me? And then
Mm,
like as tough as it is, you need to just like advertise yourself as much as you can. Like starting out like before I met you, like I had no confidence and I thought my
mm.
work was really like bad and
Oh,
it was hard. Like it's hard because you compare yourself to other illustrators and you see like all these other people becoming really successful. And I
mm,
think
mm.
yes, yeah, you should just never give up. And it's so easy to fall down that hole, but I'm glad that I didn't. And like, and obviously by doing that, by advertising myself and like even just messaging you and like sending you the link to my Instagram page, like terrified me. But again, like you love my work and it was such a nice feeling to hear those words coming
Mm.
from you. Like I'll never forget the first meeting that we had where you
Oh,
said that like you'd had loads of people that had like contacted you, but like the minute you saw my work and
yep.
you didn't even look through all of it, you just knew. And it was such a nice feeling. Like just
Oh,
to know that actually there is people who believe in you. And I don't
yeah.
think like I would be where I am right now if it
Mm.
wasn't because of this project
Oh,
with you.
wow. I'm just sitting with that. Like, that's huge. Because I feel so much the same way about you too.
Oh,
Because and you don't know this thing. Well, first I want to say you are amazing. And I'm so
oh,
glad you didn't give up on your dream. And maybe that's the
I'm
message
glad.
that somebody out there needs to hear today. Do not give up on your dream. It may not look the way that you think it's going to look, but God wouldn't have given it to you if it wasn't supposed to be something that He's going to do in that.
Yeah.
And that's what I say for you, Lori. Like, you're so creative. And I didn't know that. I didn't know how you were feeling about all of that. And so that's amazing. That how all that orchestrated. That's amazing. And so, and I'm thinking about this too, is that you don't know this part. I shared my words one other time before I got to you. And when I shared it, the publisher person was like, "Oh, this is not at all good. No, you don't need to share this at all. It's fine for a private thing, but not for a public thing." And that shut me down. And this was, I
Really?
wrote that poem, original text years ago. So I don't know how many years I just held on to that. So I was like, okay, and I just kind of whatever, sad and just sat with it, and then something just sparked. Like when I shared it on my podcast, and somebody like we had here reached out to me and said, no, that's a children's book. That never even dawned on me, and it kind of just rolled from there. So it wasn't a poem. I mean, it is, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But to have somebody see that and go, wait a second, I see, and it might not have been the original thing, but still, it's still amazing to see somebody believing in you and your work that you create. And so that's huge. Thank you so much for enjoying this series with me, all about the joy catcher. And just in case you missed it at the very beginning, you can pick up this book right now. If you're looking for a book that can encourage, that can inspire, maybe even hold on to a dream that you want to have, well, come and pick it up. The Joy Catcher is available on Amazon and hopefully other bookstores. But to get the latest news, check out thejoycatcherbook.com, or you can also look at bethanyboring.com. And again, I would love to see you in one of the groups. More information at bethanyboring.com. And remember, dare to do more than just survive. Step out and thrive. See you guys back next week. Bye.